We previously did a video on all the rabbit monsters in classic Yu-Gi-Oh! And as we mentioned on that list, there are approximately 22 rabbit-themed monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh! So we took the first half of those rabbits based on release date and ranked them. And then we said we would do the 11 more recent ones later on. And now it's later on. We'll consider these to be the modern bunnies of Yu-Gi-Oh! With the time range starting in 2014, since that's when the cutoff in the middle was, to today. While we were just basing the classic modern cutoff on chronological release date, we accidentally found that this is when Yu-Gi-Oh! Rabbits started seeing an art style shift. While the classic rabbits tended to be realistic looking rabbits or cartoony rabbits akin to Bugs Bunny, many rabbits in our modern time range tended to be more humanoid creatures with rabbit features. Of course, there will be some more classically designed rabbits here, but you'll learn that soon, so just watch. Also comment, like, and subscribe. We like when you do that. And of course, joining me again is the expert on bunnies and saying random stuff, Judgment Meter.
I love rabbits more than people. Except you, you're great.
Now, let's hop on the top 10 bunnies in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Number 10, Fluffle Rabbit. We spoke about the Fluffles on our cutest Yu-Gi-Oh! Archetype list, and the Frightfurs on the creepiest Yu-Gi-Oh! Monsters list volume 2. So in short, Fluffles are stuffed animal monsters that fuse with the Edge Imp archetype, which are a bunch of possessed sharp objects, and they create the Frightfurs, which are stuffed animals mangled by the sharp stuff, either being based on specific Fluffles or stuffed animals that don't have a Fluffle form. They started off in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 anime, used by Sora, where most of the Frightfurs had specific Fluffle counterparts, and the ones created outside the anime were unique ones outside of a few exceptions. The Fluffles' main role is to search their own cards and Edge Imp cards, and also fusion-related cards, and with them mostly being based on animal plushies, of course there's a bunny mixed in.
He's a fluffle and nothing is wrong with him. He has no holes. He can be squished with love, and that's it. Nothing poking him. There's no scissors. He's good. He's a stuffy. He's whole.
Now do you want to see its mangled Frightfur form?
No thank you. I don't want to.
Well, lucky for you, it was never in the anime or manga, so it never got a Frightfur form.
Just keep the bunny as it is. It's good. It's a good bunny. You don't need to mess with a bunny.
Rabbit's effect is if it's sent to the graveyard as a fusion material, you can add Edge Imp Sabers or any other Fluffle monster from your graveyard back to your hand. I generally don't see it in any Frightfur decks, but the effect seems good. Recycling cards has a use. I like to imagine he brings the cards back from the graveyard in his little satchel. Anyway, that's Fluffle Rabbit. May he one day get his Frightfur upgrade.
I don't want to see what is coming. No, I don't want to know.
Number 9, Melfi Rabby. Normal monsters in general are a lot more scarce in this time range, so this list will have a lot less than the other rabbit list, but Melfi Rabby gets to be the rep for the normal dudes. He's a part of the Melfi archetype mentioned in the Calantosa segment of the other rabbit video, which are monsters that activate their effects on the field by retreating to the hand, and then they get to search or special summon or etc., and they can also special summon themselves during the end phase to set up their effects again, with one exception, Melfi Rabby. He has no effect, and I assume this is either so he can work with the generic normal monster support for a strategy, like Unexpected Die letting you summon a normal monster from the deck, or they just made him a normal monster for lore purposes.
So cute. Rabby wants uppies. I want uppies. I want to give this Rabby uppies. And Rabby has foot up to go pat, 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 pat. And that means now. Rabbits will stomp their feet to demand things like treats and for you to get the hell away.
The whole idea of this archetype is the pastel animals are playing hide and seek, and Rabby is the seeker, so he has no special effects because he's the odd man out, while the other monsters are technically hiding by returning to the hand when they activate their effects. Pretty clever. And if you want a real good look at Rabby, he appears on the card Melfi Staring Contest for maximum cute points.
It's staring at you because it wants to lure you into a false sense of security, to either A, get treats from you, B, to eat your wires, or C, to get out of its cage and to escape. Bunnies win!
Number 8, Luna Light White Rabbit. Luna Light is another archetype that premiered in Arc 5, used by Serena. They're all beast warrior women themed after different animals, with their naming pattern being their color, then animal. Their main goal is to get to their various fusion methods to summon their big indestructible fusion bosses, along with the main deck monsters also having effects that search or recover other Luna Lights from the graveyard, or nerf the opponent. Luna Light White Rabbit doesn't help much with getting to the fusions, but she is good at support. When she's normal summoned, you can special summon a Luna Light monster from your graveyard, possibly triggering that monster's effect effect to set off your combos, and once per turn, she can target cards in your opponent's back row up to the number of Lunalights you control, and bounce those cards back to the hand. Both solid effects, and she looks cool to boot. I've always loved her weapon, and you know what she's gonna do with it?
She's gonna smack you.
No, she uses it to make mochi. She's based on the Japanese folklore that a rabbit makes mochi on the moon. I initially learned that as a kid from the Dragon Ball episode with Boss Rabbit.
Oh, so it's more like a mallet for cricket.
No, just mochi.
Oh, okay.
I also like her headpiece under her ears. It covers like half her face, so we really don't know what she truly looks like.
She could be part furry or full furry. You decide.
I just assume she looks like Carrot from One Piece under that.
Aw, she's cute. Oh, I like her a lot.
Number 7, Zodiac Bunny Blast. Zodiac is an archetype of beast warriors whose visuals are human-like creatures with animal features and a giant weapon, with their names reflecting that being a combination of the animal and weapon. Their playstyle involves summoning their Xyz monsters by just needing one Zodiac monster to summon them on top of, and you can keep on stacking them and activating the effects of each Xyz monster until you stop at a monster you like, preferably their boss. Their main deck monsters also add extra effects to the Xyz monsters if they're materials, like giving them battle tricks or negates. The resident rabbit of the archetype is Zodiac Bunny Blast, but despite her looking adorable, this is one of the lesser used monsters. If she's destroyed, you can add a Zodiac card from your graveyard to your hand. The effect works with other Zodiac effects that destroy, but the monsters with effects that search, summon, or send cards to the graveyard were preferred, and the effect that she gave Zodiac Xyz monsters when she's a material is to negate a spell card that targets it, which doesn't come up that often. It varies, but it's not as stellar as the other main deck monster Xyz effects. As a result, Bunny was generally one of the first cards cut in Zodiac decks, but hey, maybe she can be the team mascot.
Aw, holy crap, that's a huge gun. That's bigger than she is. Oh, she has the gauntlet. She's holding. Oh my god, there's a bunny on the gun. Oh, if I had a gun, I would want that one.
And they actually censored the gun in the international releases. They made it purple instead of silver.
Guns can't be purple. Not real life. That's ridiculous. She's so cool. She reminds me of the gunslinger from Cowboy Bebop, the bounty show. She's pretty cool. I really like her. They put a lot of thought and effort into her design.
Probably my favorite thing about her is on the card Zodiac Barrage, where we see her personality in battle is opposite her demeanor on her own card, since she's cutting ahead of her Zodiac brethren to charge into battle. Also, this card destroys your face-up cards to activate its effect, which synergizes with her effect that activates when she's destroyed, so her taking the lead on this card relates to the gameplay. If Bunny Blast ever appears on another card, I'd love to see her doing more crazy actions like this. Number 6, Bunny Ear Enthusiast. I know this is random, useless pack filler from a 2023 set, Cyberstorm Access, but it gets points for being creative visually and with the effect. In the art, she's handing out bunny ears to characters in this unknown location, so the effect mirrors that, where once per chain, when a monster on the field activates its effect, you can put a bunny ear counter on it, so she's essentially handing out bunny ears to the monsters on the field. The counters make the monsters indestructible by battle, so maybe that's why they accept the ears. Plus, you can still put them on your own monsters, so it doesn't just benefit your opponent. However, for the betrayal, you can quick effect banish her and one of the monsters that has a counter on it until the next standby phase. So it's a slow gimmick that gets things off the field that no one's really going to use, but it's creative how this one image conveys her entire effect perfectly. She's more than just a pretty face.
I'm so glad that there's someone who is going around the world trying to make people who aren't bunnies feel more like bunnies, because bunnies are truly the best. Put your best ear forward. Is that guy in the background, are those the goblin people?
Yes, that's the reoccurring group of goblin kids with the one that's constantly disappointed by bad gifts or just getting ripped off.
I love him. Does he not like his ears? Did he want the yellow one?
Probably not. According to fate, anything he gets is not what he wanted. I love that this storyline snuck onto this card.
Aww, I'm Sorry, dude.
Number 5, Gizmek and Nappa, the Hopping Hare of Yugioh. Gizmeks are an archetype that support machine monsters in general, but they tend to not work as a single deck on their own. Gizmek and Nappa's support is when it's normal summoned, you can special summon a machine monster from your hand in defense mode, whose attack and defense are equal, which are all the Gizmek monsters, but also a bunch of other famous machines. And if this monster is in your graveyard, you can banish it to target a machine with equal attack and defense on your side of the field, and combine those stats for its attack. This seems mildly useful, but I've never seen anyone use it, so we're just giving it the spot because we love rabbit mechs.
It doesn't seem like it wants to hop. It just seems like it wants to sit, which makes sense because big bunnies like to sit.
Is it a big rabbit, or are those just small rock formations?
Oh, I'll approach it cautiously.
Careful, that thing's got killer attack. You know how much?
75.
Close. 50.
Woo!
Number 4, Malice Pawn White Rabbit. Malice is a link climbing deck that lets you constantly banish your other Malice monsters to get their searching or summoning or other effects, and then the banished Malice monsters can pay a small life point fee to get back on the field too, so you're constantly recycling them to go into better link monsters. One of the most important monsters for their archetype is Malice Pawn White Rabbit, who lets you set a Malice trap directly from the deck on the field to set up your other combos, since all Malice traps can be activated the turn they're set, which search or summon Malice cards from the deck, graveyard, or banishment, constantly giving you new bodies for the field. She also has the universal effect to special summon herself right after she's banished, going with how other Malice effects need you to banish a card, and add in that she gives battle damage protection for your link monsters. Neat. As for the design, really, it's the whole archetype. It combines 4 things. First, they're all based on characters from Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass, plus chess pieces, plus malware in the name, and visually add in a playing card. So White Rabbit is obviously based on the White Rabbit from Alice in Wonderland, the pawn in chess, Bad Rabbit malware, and hearts in cards. I get why they combined most of these things, but why malware? I know they're Cyber's type, and those types of cards usually have a computer theme, but they didn't have to make them Cybers. They could have just been Beast Warriors, since they are humans with a few animal parts. But hey, I think it's creative.
The Dormouse! Oh, these are so cool.
Also to note, there is March Hare in the archetype, but I kinda forgot about it until right now, since White Rabbit is one of the main combo starters and the protagonist in the art, as seen on the field spell, so we'll just sweep her under the rug as a silent honorable mention.
Aw, one uppity ear rabbit and one downy ear rabbit.
Number 3, Hop Ear Squadron. This is a card effect that I've always valued, but I never saw this monster used outside of gimmick decks that like to synchro summon. During your opponent's main phase, when this card is in your hand, you can quick effect target one of the monsters you control on the field, special summon Hop Ear Squadron, and then synchro summon both using it and the monster you targeted. So you could potentially get out a monster with some disruption that your opponent wasn't expecting. I see how this effect can be slow since it can only be used on your opponent's turn, but still, I think it's neat. Imagine if you target a level 8 monster. Now you have a Barone. Not so funny now, eh? Plus, its art reflects how its effect works. They're all rabbits with wings for ears, so they swoop in to rescue your monster with their quick effect, where they both vacate the field immediately to be replaced with the cavalry. And it looks like the lead guy has a carrot cigar.
He's a lieutenant, so you know he means business. Bunny business. I'm just taking it all in for a sec. It's like Harpy Ladies, but bunnies this time. Does he have a wingtail on his butt?
Yes.
Sure.
Does it make you want to have one in real life?
No.
Number 2, Danger Jackalope. The Dangers are one of Yu-Gi-Oh's most unique archetypes. They all have the effect that you can reveal them in your hand, and then you randomly discard a card in your hand. If the discarded card was not the Danger, then you can special summon it to the field and draw a card. If it was the Danger, then you activate their special effect. And as long as you have more Dangers in your hand, you can keep on doing this until you run out of cards. Jackalope's special effect is when he's discarded, you can special summon another Danger from the deck, and being able to get any body on the field can enable more plays for extra deck monsters and such, so this is a really good effect. So good that Jackalope spent some time on the limited list. As for why this archetype has such a weird effect activation, I'm assuming it's because all the Dangers are monsters of folklore, like Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, or the Chupacabra, so they're constantly emerging but then going back into hiding where people are trying to find them. The jackalope is simply a jackrabbit with antelope horns. People want to capture it because it's rare, but it's basically harmless, and this jackalope is also green, making it even more rare than the one I heard about.
Are they trying to catch it? I don't want them to catch it. I want it to be free.
Also, this danger monster has question marks in its name, while most of the other dangers only have exclamation points.
He's so magical. He looks kind of like a ghost. He's so glowy.
Well, I don't think it has the question marks because it's magical. The other danger monster with question marks in its name is Tsuchinoko, who is trying to get away from the captors like the jackalope is, while the only exclamation point dangers are on the offensive against the captors. So my guess is they put the question marks in the names of the dangers who can't fight back because they might be threats but they don't seem to be. Really though, these guys should not be trying to capture any of these monsters because it's clearly not working out against the big guys.
I think it's going to be like a Yu Hakusho situation. And it's going to be like the Toguro brothers, and they're working for the rich guy, and it's going to be just a bad situation.
Judgment Meter gave me more clarification on what she meant 2 weeks later with a different mic setup. So here's 5 more seconds of Judgment Meter.
It was like the arc with Yukina, where they kill the rich guys at the end.
Oh, now I know what you're talking about. Do you have any other favorite danger monsters besides the jackalope?
Go Dogman!
For honorable mentions, we need to go with the 11th rabbit we considered for this half of the approximate 22 total rabbits, being Vernisylph of the Flowering Fields. Main reason we left it off is we've done 2 Vernisylph segments in the past, both on my 7th backstory list and our cute archetype list, and I liked our commentary for the rabbit of the archetype in those videos, so I decided just to cover new stuff on the main list. Still love this rabbit. It's in a dress picking cherries. This is amazing aesthetic for cute stuff. Now while that seems like it should be the end of the rabbits, since that was the 22nd if you include the mystery number 1 in there, we have a few more from this time range that we left off for some reason. First up, Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. To be honest, I just forgot that there was a rabbit here despite it being right in her name. I'm so focused on the Ghost Ogre that I never really noticed the rabbit beside her. This definitely counts, so when I said approximately 22 in the intro, I guess I was right in not saying exactly 22. As for another one we wanted to shout out, Battling Boxer Rabbit Punch, which was borderline, but we ultimately would not have counted it. Battling Boxer is an archetype of mechanical-looking boxer warriors who swarm the field for their Xyz plays. Rabbit Punch is named after the boxing term for an illegal punch to the back of the head, so to reflect that, his effect is he instantly destroys face-down monsters in battle, and for some wordplay, they also made him a rabbit man, sort of. I don't see any rabbit ears and the face is obscured, but he does have rabbit-like feet, so he has enough rabbit features to make me think for a second, but not enough for me to confidently count him as one. But hold on, there were 2 newer rabbit monsters from the Zexal manga released in the real-life card game just around the time we recorded the first video on this topic, so we never factored them in initially. Moon Gardener and Moon Magician. They can both be special summoned after certain conditions are met, and they can recover 1 light monster from the graveyard. Maybe there's a deck that can use them, but I like to think we would have left them off the top 10 regardless of if we planned for them or not, so I'll pretend I never saw them. And finally, there's Wilmy, who should have actually been considered for the classic Yu-Gi-Oh list, but like Ghost Ogre, we just forgot. So I guess the real total rabbits should have been 24 plus the 2 moon ones and that 1 Malice Hair, making the final total 27, but I'm so used to saying approximately 22, let's just keep it at that. Also, Wilmy is a badass. I love early Yu-Gi-Oh! Normal monsters that look like they'll murder you, but they have weak stats. Not sure if that would have beat out Dark Rabbit on the first rabbit list, but I'm happy to share of his existence with you all. For number 1, we chose the monster who has the coolest effect, along with having a very fun design, and it supports a type of monster that I think is underrated. Number 1, Silhouette Rabbit. Silhouette Rabbit is a part of the newer illusion typing, which have the universal effect that whenever they battle, neither monster battling is destroyed. Being a magician rabbit, it has the effect where when it's link summoned, you can set a continuous trap from the deck that can be special summoned as a monster. These kinds of trap monsters appear time and again in Yu-Gi-Oh, but they're mainly gimmicks. Guys like Zoma the Spirit or the Apophis monsters are all continuous trap cards, but their effects summon them as monsters. There are strategies involving them, like this one trap monster Statue of Anguish pattern, pattern, which has the effect of when it's a monster, you get to destroy a card on the field when another continuous trap monster is summoned, but they're mostly just pieces and combos for other decks. As a result, this rabbit sees play in decks that have trap monsters that work for their own combos, but its intended purpose is to get its own trap monster on the field, Silo Hat Trick, being the rabbit's shadow minions. This trap can be summoned as an illusion monster, and when it's summoned, you can target cards on your opponent's side of the field equal to the number of illusion monsters you control and negate those effects. Since the trap and the rabbit are both illusions, you can probably get at least 2 from that effect. And as a bonus, it triggers the rabbit's other effect, where if a monster is summoned from the back row, you get to destroy another spell or trap on the field. I've always thought this was a cool effect since I love trap-focused decks, and it helps that this monster looks awesome. It might be a cute little magician, but it could also potentially be sinister with its unknown shadow men.
This rabbit could have its own anime. I would watch the crap out of that. Oh my god, it has the Yu-Gi-Oh eye on it.
What do you think of its shadow men?
Aww. But really, the bunny's the star of the show because it's a bunny, and bunnies are best. And this bunny is not wearing pants because it doesn't have to because it's a bunny. Good job, bunny.
So for the combination of a unique effect and being a rabbit that pulls a man out of a hat, Silo Hat Rabbit tricks its way to number 1 on this list. Now, what did you think? Were all these rabbits great at their craft, or did some of them barely have enough rabbit features to call themselves a bunny? And let us know some of your favorite recurring animals on Yu-Gi-Oh cards in the comments. Maybe they'll get a topic like this someday. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and we will see you in the next video.